Hello, my little unicorns. Happy New Year's Eve. I'm dropping a little early because I wanted to give you an opportunity to see what I'm doing for New Year's Eve in my look. If it's something that you like and you might want to try it, keep watching. Maybe it'll help you. If not, just have a blessed New Year's and I will see you again in 2022. Let's get into it. Alright, so I have contoured, blushed, highlighted, foundation, eyebrows, and I've done one eye in its completion. So for New Year's Eve, I am wearing red and black, but because it's not New Year's Eve without a little bling, I'm also going to be wearing gold jewelry and gold sparkles. Gotta have my glitter. So this is a very bold, over-the-top, big look. Holidays are for that, I suppose, because I said this the last video too. But I'm going to have some fun with it. So if you are ready, let's go ahead and jump right in. I am using mostly my BH Cosmetics Lunar New Year palette. This is from last year. Don't judge me. And I'll be using mostly reds and golds from the palette. I'm also going to be using my Jeffree Star Brain Freeze highlighter palette. And I'll be using my Beauty Creations Unicorn Dream Glitter palette. I'm going to be using a couple glitters from this palette. So we'll jump right in with my sticky tape. I want a nice sharp edge here. And let's go ahead and get started. Now the first color I'm going to go into is a bold red shade called Mandarin. It's this shade right here. And because it's a red, it does kind of go on a little pink. So you have to build it. So I start light, build it where I want it, and then deepen the color. And I want this in my outer third and in my crease. And I'm not too concerned with how neat it is in here because I'm going to go in, I'm going to cut half the crease. But I want to make sure it's really blurred out here. I want it super blended. And because I feel like you're looking at the top of my head, I'm going to go ahead and lift my mirror up. And I'm taking it all the way up to my eyebrow on the inner corner, but not quite up to the eyebrow on the outer corner. And again, I'm really blending that out. I'm going to go in, add a little more, make it a little bit redder so it's not quite so pink. But again, really blending it. And I'm going in with a finer brush. And I'm going in with a dark maroon color called Red Panda. It's this color right here. Unfortunately, I do not think this palette is available anymore. I think this was just a 2021 release. And I'm going to take this in the outer V and up in the crease, but not quite as far as I took the color Mandarin. This is going to create my cut crease, this color here. So I want it a little sharper. Then to blur it out a little bit on the top, I'm going back in with some Mandarin, really tapping that brush out, and I'm just going to soften this edge here. I'm keeping it sharp underneath, but softening it in here. And then I'm taking off any excess product off the brush, same brush, and just blending that out on the outside. There we go. Alright, so then I'm going in with a little black, and I'm just going to do a little fox wing. I'm not going to go all the way over because I'm still putting gold in here. And I'm going to hit this with a little black liner after I get my lashes on. So we're just going to do kind of a little wing. I'm going to make it pretty big because I'm going to blend it in. Going back in with the small pencil brush that I used for Red Panda, I'm just going to blend that and soften it out. Okay, and then I'm going to go back in with Mandarin and blend it out even more. Remove any excess product and even more. Next, I'm going to take my eyelash curler and do that wonderful trick where I cut the crease using it. This is like my new go-to hack. I absolutely love this. And I'm only going to paint half of it. So I'm painting half of it with concealer. So I get a nice bead of concealer on the edge. And I'm going to kind of find the shape that mimics the other side. Decide where I want to put it that looks even. And stamp it in. There we go. And then I'm going to use my concealer brush to fill it in. Okay. And then I'm going to use the warmth of my finger just to press and blend that out a little bit more so it blends a little bit more softly in here. So I'm just going to roll my finger and then I'm wiping off any excess concealer. And then I'm going to take it and roll again, wipe off any excess concealer and then roll again. And then in here I might just pat just a little and then do some more roll, wipe off. And then I'm going to set it with a gold color shimmer here called Mooncake. And it's this gold right here. It's called Mooncake. And I'm going to set the center part of my eye into the red. But I'm leaving the inner third here untouched. And that's where I'm going to go in with my Brain Freeze palette. And I'm going to take the color Gold Breaker on yet another brush. And I'm going to take that in the inner corner. So this one right here. And I'm going to take that in the very inner corner on that inner third. Alright, so then I'm going to go to the lower lash line, which is not usually how I do it. Usually I will apply the glitters and do the top and then do the lower, but the glitters are going to be challenged with my liner, so I'm going to go ahead and finish the bottom first. So I pulled off the tape. We've got most of the upper eye done. Let's go ahead and do the under eye. For that, I'm going back into my Lunar Eclipse palette. Is that what it's called? Lunar Eclipse? Lunar New Year. And I'm going into the black shade in the palette, which is called Yin. I didn't actually tell you that, but it's a very matte black. And I'm just going to take it as close to my lash line as I can with this very small brush. And I'm going to connect it into the black in here. Again, as close to the lash line as possible. And I'm going in with the same brush that I used for Red Panda. And I'm going to smudge it out. Again, staying close to the lash line, but a little lower. And then I'm going in with the brush that I used for Mandarin, and that's where I'm really gonna blur it out and take it low. Okay, so we've done the under eye. We're gonna do lashes and mascara, or mascara and lashes off camera. But what do we have left? We have a little glitter and some highlights. So for the brow bone, there's my brush. I'm going in with the white in the shade, which is Yang. It's like a gold, shimmery, pearlescent white. My hands are full, so I'm not lifting it up, but give me a second and I'll show it to you. And I'm just going to go right under the brow bone. On the lid, I'm going in with my Beauty Creations glitter primer, which is like a glitter glue. Just putting a little tiny bit of glue on my finger, and I'm going to dab it. I don't want to swipe it because I don't want to remove the color that's already down there. But I'm going to dab it on my lid on the shimmer shade. I want that shimmer shade as a base for the glitter. So I'm just dabbing the glue so that I don't pull off too much color. Then I'm going into my Beauty Creations Unicorn Dream Glitter Palette. I'm going into the lightest gold right here. A little bit on my finger. And I'm going to take that on the inside where I have the lightest color. Now this is a pressed glitter, so technically you're not supposed to need glitter glue, but I find that it stays longer when you use it. Also, a little hack, if you don't have glitter glue, you can use eyelash glue. That will work as well. Just make sure it's a thin layer. Don't overdo it. Okay, now I'm going into the darker gold color of the palette. These don't have names, so I just need to show you. And I'm going to put that on my lid. Everywhere that's gold. Now I could pack this on. I'm not going to do that. I want some of that color to show through underneath. So I'm going to blend that seam out. And then I'm going back in with Mandarin in the Lunar New Year palette. And I'm just going to blend out that on the lid to make sure they're even where the gold meets the red. I'm also going in with a little of the red panda from the Lunar New Year, and I'm just going to sharpen up this cut crease. A little bit more of the Mandarin on the upper part. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do the mascara and lashes off camera, and I'll be right back. Okay, so eyes are pretty much done. We're just going to do a little last minute touch here, and that is to add some black in the inner waterline and tight line. So I'm just going to touch up this eye real quick. And very quickly just do a little tight lining. I'm just using my navy black pencil. And I'm tilting it low so it connects to the lashes. I want to kind of smudge it out. Now, since I've already contoured and blushed and highlighted, I'll link the products I used, if I remember, in the description. I'm going to go in with my favorite red, my Revlon Ultimate Color Stay, or Color Stay Ultimate in the shade Top Tomato. And obviously I'm going to let this go for at least 20 minutes to dry completely. Now, if you're like me and getting up there in age, or you have smoker's lines, you may want to line before you do this. But I'm being lazy. Okay, so here it is, the finished look. We're going to do some hair and I'll give you a final look, but in the meantime, I just want to wish you all a blessed and happy 2022. Stay safe, stay magical, and I'll see you next year. Bye-bye.